65, and now 75, now 300. Now we're going 3, we go number 3 to 5, 275, we're going to get 3, number 3, and 3.
Each and every fall, the Ruidoso Select Yearling Sale and the Los Alamitos Equine Sale offer prospective quarter horse buyers the very best. Oftentimes, what happens here in the sales ring will determine the ultimate success for horsemen the following season.
This is a particularly exciting year. You know, I think that we definitely have the most 2-year-olds that I've ever had during the course of a year. I think at the horse sales we did tremendously well, buying some very good bred horses this year.
Okay, we have Deep in the Heart of Texas going to go today. He's Corona Cartel out of a mare that ran quite well here, named Rousing Encore. Native T-Rose, she's also a first down dash filly that we had purchased out of the sale over there in Ruidoso.
Trace Queen, she's out of First Place Queen, who actually won the Golden State Million and the Los Alamitos 2 Million.
Cat Quick, ironically, he's a FDD Dynasty whom we train, and also he's a half-brother to another horse that we had here named Fisher's Tail.
Deep in the Heart of Texas and Native T-Rose are both just enormous, you know. It was funny, they just came in yesterday. This is them here, coming around the turn together. Sees the grandstands over here. This is just so new to them. Now, another one that we should mention is probably the Secret Dynasty. She's by Champion FDD Dynasty out of All-American Futurity winning No Secrets Here. Deja La Blue is a Corona Cartel filly out of Run the Dash. She's a full sister to World Champion Blues Girl too. She's still during the breaking process. You know, in the quarter horse world, it's just completely different. It's primarily geared right at the 2-year-olds, and so we have to push these colts. It seems like a lot harder, a lot faster than in the thoroughbred industry. There's a small window for these horses to make a lot of money, and you know, if you think by September, October, November, there's $4 or $5 million futurities during that particular time.
Many of Cody's 2-year-olds are broken here at Getaway Farms.
This is the very first beginnings right here of the makings of a successful racehorse. Basically what he's doing here is he's kind of teaching her how to go and what to do in here, where later on you'll get on them and start riding them for the first time. They'll take them from here. Once we ride them about 4 or 5 times in here, we'll take them out there to the arena and give them a bigger space to operate in, and from there then they'll graduate onto the racetrack whenever they're ready. We'll start teaching them little short sprints. We'll do little 50-yard sprints right here in this little straightaway area. We're just teaching them really how to compete against one another. This is just another part of the process in which it's probably the last stage of the process before we get them to the actual racetrack. I was practically born and raised in the shed row of a barn. On the weekends, my dad would haul horses from Seymour, Texas when we were living there. I would just sleep in the truck while he drove. I think it's just the heart of the animal, you know, they give you so much and they expect so little in return. I think that's what really drives me. Well, they're so green and young, and they don't know anything when they first come in here, and just going through that entire process, it's a real payoff to watch them do something great and know that you were at least part of it. The greatness was in there already, you know. We were just blessed to be around them. But my dad, Mike Joyner, I mean, he's the best horseman I know. He's taught me everything that I know about racing horses. He's won numerous big races that I've fortunately been a part of. One year in particularly that just comes straight to mind is the uncanny season we had in 2004 at Ruidoso Downs, in which we won the Ruidoso Futurity, the Ruidoso Derby, we won the Rainbow Derby, won the All-American Derby with Bremerton. It was just an incredible season. The ambiance at Ruidoso is second to none. I mean, just sitting there anticipating 20 or so trials, you know, within the course of a day, it's obviously exhausting. Your adrenaline is pumping almost the entire time. Probably the most memorable horse that just first comes to mind, it really kind of jump-started, was in 2003, Kendall Jackson. You know, he was a fantastic horse. He ran really well at Sunland, set 2 world records.
But Kendall Jackson streaking right away, wins it so well.
After numerous successful seasons working as an assistant to his father in New Mexico, Cody was given the task of running the Southern California division of his family stable at Los Alamitos in 2003. 3 years later, he won the Ed Burke Million Futurity with 2-time champion and millionaire FDD Dynasty.
FDD Dynasty takes the Edberg Million Futurity.
My dad really gave me free rein out here to kind of do what I wanted to. He had a lot of faith in me. It proved to me later on that I could make big decisions going into some of these $1 million races that we run at.
But as Cody's achievements began to mount and his profile continued to grow, he soon became eager for more opportunities and a stable of his own.
In 2008, I felt like that I had kind of reached a glass ceiling with my dad. And I was presented with an opportunity to go and have a job with D. Wayne Lucas in 2008. And I went and visited Wayne for about a week at Churchill. You won't meet a nicer gentleman in a class act like D. Wayne. And it was just an amazing experience, just being able to ride on the track at Churchill, seeing the twin spires when the sun comes up in the morning. It was incredible. I decided to forego that and start my own stable just because it seemed like I had a pretty good base of clientele established already. You know, from that solid foundation of building blocks, we've really kind of built into a very nice stable here. You know, hopefully it just keeps going forward and growing. I absolutely have no regrets still staying with the quarters. This is where my heart is. I love quarter horse racing, grew up with it, and just to be around them every day, that's what I love.